CPDC is a umbrella network of NGOs across the Caribbean. We work primarily in areas of policy development and ensuring that NGOs and civil society have a voice in regional and international policy forums. So the goal is to ensure that civil society and NGOs themselves really do have a voice in arenas where it matters. We acknowledge that oftentimes policies that impact the average persons are made at regional international fora, and we believe that there is a need for civil society itself to have an input and a voice in those arenas to ensure that our views, our viewpoints are heard and understood when policy is being formulated. Originally, CPDC started out, I'd say, in the 90s in response to the situation on the ground in the Caribbean, where we had a number of countries undertaking structural adjustment policies. And the goal then was to ensure that the social dislocation that was being experienced on the ground was remedied. And we felt that there was a need for the average person to have a voice where their experiences were being shared at the regional, international level, and sometimes at the national level in response, given the social dislocation that was being experienced as a result of implementing the various international financial institutions policies, which is the IMF, and to a limited extent the World Bank type policies. Now, the project is based on CPDC's experience of actions over the last 2 decades. More importantly as well, it is also based on a consultancy that CPDC undertook in 2010 period for the CARICOM Secretariat, which looked at engaging civil society organizations across the Caribbean to find out how they can become more active and engaging in regional policy development issues. That work identified a number of areas, a number of weaknesses, a number of challenges, and suggestions and recommendations that the NGOs had provided, and this project represents an outcome from that process, where we're seeking to address a number of the issues that were raised, a number of the concerns, a number of the challenges that were raised, to ensure that NGOs across the region have a greater voice in regional policy making.